It's very unfortunate that this really shouldn't surprise y'all. This really shouldn't surprise anybody. I mean, what other place do you have an abundance of children who are unsupervised by their parents and where you can get away with zero to no accountability? There's not cameras everywhere. And the people who are PDF files, they know where the cameras are, babe. Believe me, they've studied that. And if you think that the things that I'm about to tell you are just things out of my imagination, then I want you to do a Google search on how many teachers have been busted for being PDF files in your county.
The teacher giving his eyes to a student, naughty, pretty cute, and she bit her lip back to him, chewing on her nails and her pens while she's dreaming of him, and he's fucking in sin. You know he is. She said it's for all the right reasons, baby. Don't care about grades, just call me your lady. If I pass this quiz, will you give me your babies? Don't call me crazy, you love me, but you won't come save me. You got a wife and kids, you see them daily. Don't know why you even made me. Teacher's pet, if I'm so special, why am I secret?
You don't even have to do the state. If you want to do the state, you could do that. But just do your county and see how many teachers or coaches or professionals have been busted being weirdos around the children. All right, so this is something that needs to be talked about. So I'm going to tell you things that I have seen with these two eyes in my school. So there was this man who I will call Mr. Glenn, okay, and he was the school's custodian or janitor, for lack of better words. Mr. Glenn had an affinity for young boys, okay, and it was quite obvious. Several of my students would come to me and say, hey, Mr. Glenn, he's always in the bathroom, or I thought Mr. Glenn was looking at me. Most of the time, if they would tell another teacher or if they would tell the administrator, they were quickly shut down. Okay, well, if you saw the yellow bucket, mop bucket there, then don't go into the restroom. Okay, they had to get on Mr. Glenn several times for walking in on the students. No one did anything. No one said anything. It got to the point where I would stick my head out of the classroom because, you shouldn't have to escort children back and forth from the restroom while you're teaching. I remember when I was in school, we were able to just go to the bathroom. But now I have to monitor them. And so this little boy needed to use the restroom, and so I looked on both sides of the hallway. I didn't see a soul. So I said, hey, go ahead and go to the restroom. So he went. He goes to the restroom. I see him walk in, and so I walk back to my classroom, and my students were working on an assignment. I go around to monitor the assignment. So maybe a minute or two passes, and so I go back to the classroom, and what do I see? Mr. Glenn. And he has a mop in his hand, and he's just running to the bathroom. Like he's rushing to the bathroom, like there's an emergency or something in the bathroom. I'm like, what is going on? And so I remember, okay, my student is in there. So what is he doing? And so I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, should I run down the hall and go see what's going on in the bathroom? Because I'm still responsible for the 20-something other students that's in the class. Why is Mr. Glenn in there? And I know the little boy is still in there. And so all of this is crossing my mind. And so before I could make it down the hall, the little boy comes out of the restroom and he's looking, and I was like, okay, what is going on now? I really, I didn't come here for foolishness. I came here to teach. All right, but here we go. So the little boy comes to the classroom and he tells me, he was like, oh, Miss Brown, Mr. Glenn was banging on the stall while I was in the bathroom stall, and he asked me, did I need some toilet paper? And I said no. I told him no, I didn't need any toilet paper, and he kept banging on the bathroom. Said, "Well, I know I forgot to put toilet paper in there. Don't you need some toilet paper?" And he said that he told him no, he didn't need toilet paper, and that he just kept seeing the man's shoes like standing there. He was waiting until Mr. Glenn would just leave so that he could come out of the bathroom. And so I was like, okay, All right, thank you for telling me. I will pass it along to the higher ups for them to do nothing, of course, because technically nothing really happened. The man asked him if he needed toilet paper, but I know that there was some protocol, had to be, telling him to stay out of the bathroom with the kids there. Okay, and if you might say, oh, well, nothing actually happened, not quite, but he was a weirdo, and we all knew it. Why was it his job to ask this little boy if he needed toilet paper? I confronted this man after school when he was cleaning my classroom. I was like, Mr. Glenn, one of my students said that you offered him some toilet paper in the bathroom, and I was like, well, why were you rushing in the bathroom like that? And he already didn't like me, and he's just like, he was like, there was a mess in there, I had to clean up, and I was like, I said, okay, like, what was the mess, like, that you needed to clean up? And he looked at me up and down. He said, you are not my boss, ma'am. And just, turned his back and just mopped away. And so I'm like, okay, that's fine. No, I'm not your boss. But at the same time, I think it's weird that my student is coming telling me that, that you're asking him if he needed toilet paper and all that. He never answered me when I brought that up. Like, he just pretended I wasn't even talking to him. He never confirmed or denied that he offered him toilet paper and was banging on the stall door trying to get him to open it. Okay, I think that's weird. The boy didn't ask for toilet paper. I know I didn't put any in there. And this little boy had like red hair and freckles, and I really feel like that was his type, because too many little boys would say, hey, I felt uncomfortable around him. It was just the way he was staring at me, and usually they would fit that description. It's like he started having a type. And so people, was calling him Creepy Glenn or whatever. His real name starts with a C, so creepy and the name with the C, to make it an alliteration. But it's like, okay, how is this the school joke? Y'all are laughing and joking about this man being a total weirdo. We all know he don't have any children. He doesn't have a woman in his life that we know of. It's not our business, but it's supposed to be funny that this man is weird and he's in and out of the boys' bathrooms. Never the girls. He's not really too concerned about those. But that's just such a laughing matter. And so it's no wonder so many cases happen where the school professionals are diddling with the students. You wonder, nobody knew? I can't believe it. No, everybody knew. And it was the joke and the secret that teachers and people that work there would just kind of shoo around, and nobody really takes any preventative measures until something happens. And it happens more often than you probably think. Like I said, just do a simple Google search and you will find how many times it's happened. And I want you to think about this. For every time that you see a document case, think about times where it happened and that student was too embarrassed to say anything. Just let that sink in. And there's even female teachers that I think are sus. Okay, like they'll make comments. It's like, oh, he's such a heartbreaker. Oh my God, he's just so handsome. Oh, he's just 7 years old is what he's just. Okay, and with the way that these teachers dressed and everything nowadays, come on, let's not act like we don't know. I remember the students were at recess dancing around and stuff like that, and so they had this one little boy dancing, and the teacher, she was like, oh yeah, look at how good he can dance, and she was on and on calling him, he's so cute, he's so this and that. And we are specifically told not to mention anything negative or positive about the child's appearance unless it's affecting the classroom. Like, that's supposed to be a boundary. But of course no one cares. And so as he was dancing, she was like, oh, let me see how you do on those girls. Let me see how you do with those girls. And so then the boy changes the way he dances, and he starts like swinging his hips and popping them forward and stuff like that, and doing all this like he's grinding or whatever. And she's like, oh, look at him. I told him he's going to be a heartbreaker. Oh, look at him. And so I'm sitting here like, gross. Why would you encourage a child to do that? Like, why would you tell them to dance like that? It's one thing if the children are taking it upon themselves. Who told you to tell this child, oh, let me see how you do on those girls? And so he started acting mannish and dancing as if he was dancing on a girl. And so, like, I looked at her and looked at him. I said, okay, the dance party's over. And so everybody was looking at me like I ruined something. Oh, we're at recess. Like I'm just the worst teacher ever. I'm like, no, it was inappropriate. I didn't say that, but it was completely inappropriate. I don't like how she was telling him to dance like that, or enjoying the fact that he was dancing like that. And if you don't think that there's women pedophiles, take a look.
Teacher's pet. If I'm so special, why am I secret? Do you regret the things we shared that I'll never forget? Well, do you tell me that I knew I'm young, but my mind is well beyond my years? I knew this wouldn't last. Don't you leave me here, teacher's pet. If I'm so special, why am I secret? Give me back my money, didn't learn a damn thing, honey, from you. Except how to lie and cheat while inside the sheets. Stop calling me your bunny, I won't hop in, you don't own me, do you? I bet you think you do, well you don't. Teacher's pet. If I'm so special, why am I secret?
This is usually how it starts. One of the teachers that actually got busted in our district, it started just like that, like similar things like this. He always would blur the lines. He always wanted to be the students as friends. He would always be in mess, like the little girls would be messy and gossiping about this one and that one. He was always in the middle of that. Like they say, building a rapport with your students, that's so popular now. He was always doing that. He was always like, you would see him dancing with the students and different things like that. And that's like all over the internet where the teachers are dancing with the students and, oh, it's building rapport. I want you to know that that man that got busted in my district, it started like that. Like him just being this great teacher and relating to the students. And you see this guy getting his hair braided and everything else. And this is just little things that's caught on camera. No, the teacher, did not do anything inappropriate or anything like that. I'm not making that type of allegation. Well, he did do something inappropriate. Letting them play in his hair, that's inappropriate. But this is usually how it starts. Even the substitute teachers, they undergo a background check, but to me, it's not really rigorous enough. They're not trained enough. But hey, they need warm bodies in the classroom. This woman right here, take a look at this.
Yeah. We got a new hustle unlocked. I'm a school teacher now. Little breakfast. Let's get the day rolling. Who would have ever thought? Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Have a good day. Today was really a breeze. My kids ain't have to do too much, man. To be honest, I let them do whatever they want to do. Yes, I'm that type of teacher. Took me a little lunch break. Yeah, they got it going on at this joint. They stay bound. Okay, then. Damn, shorty. Sheesh. Man, I gotta get up out these school kids trying to take me down, man. Then I look so young, I look like one of them. Appreciate it. My little free time, I had to go out there and give me some little content, little fit check. Really just a chill fit today. Cause y'all know if it was up to me, I would have been rough fine head to toe. Y'all know I ain't lying. But they did have a pep rally and came clutch. And that was the typical day.
So she's there saying, damn, shawty, like whatever that means. I'm not sure what that means. She's explained it to mean that it didn't mean anything inappropriate. Now, both of those teachers were fired, and as they should be. And the only reason they were fired is because it went viral on the internet. The guy with the students playing in his hair, this substitute teacher saying, damn, shawty. They got fired because people reacted to it on the internet. But I want y'all to know that how much it happens every single day and it doesn't get posted. Where there's so many blurred lines and there's so many adults, and this is where they come to your child's school. And just because they can pass a background check doesn't mean anything. It just means they simply hadn't got caught yet. My name is Martina Brown. I'm an ex-teacher turned homeschool mom, And I'm going to tell you why I quit teaching to homeschool my children and why you should homeschool your children too. I think we should get the word out about what's really going on in these schools. I'm tired of being quiet. No matter what we do, the biggest thing is exposure, because the fact that these teachers got fired, it's a good sign. But again, it doesn't usually happen unless people shine a light on it, unless more people start to talk about it. I'm done being quiet.